Alright, so 2 days ago I published the video Triple Trouble Marvel Rewards for DS Meets. So there is a playlist I made with Yoshi Rewards for DS, which shows all of the Triple Trouble remixes that I like. And honestly, I think they might be better than my own remix. But now we have a thing called double turn. So you might be asking, what's that? Well, it's something that all every single fan knows, but no one has ever thought about. You see, when you hear a song, not of the old FNF, not the old FNF, but at least Triple Trouble is enough recent, I guess. And you see, sometimes there is character seeing the opponent, and then boyfriend kind of copies it. But to make the song sound even better, they make so that the opponent sings something and at the same time boyfriend sings something else. So at the end, then the opponent has to sing what boyfriend sang, and then boyfriend has to sing what the opponent sang. It's very used in Triple Trouble. It all started to happen 19th March. Of course, 2025, don't spend years for that. So during that day, I finally finished school. I remember it was a Monday. I hate Mondays. But that Monday was very nice because I did finish all the homeworks and I had 1 hour left. It's incredible because in high school they don't really give you that much time to do your homework. But I did have 1 hour left. What did I do with that? I started making remix. How, you may ask? Well, simply, first of all, I did screen record the vocals. Yes, I'm the delusional. And then I simply went to Canva, which is the site I used. It's actually a hub, but an app, but it's also a site. It's basically what I use to make videos, but at the same time, it can also be used for technically songs. What's the problem? It has a limit of 50 songs or sounds, whatever. So every single time you reach that 50 sounds limit, which of course every single note counts as a sound, so to make you understand how much pain I went through, I had to screen record what I already made multiple times, which is why the vocals may be a little bit too clear if you listen too close with high volume. I would not recommend you that because it hurts your ear, but okay. But most of it is actually well done. But yeah, I have to screen record all of them, which is why I don't really enjoy that much making remix, because you always get hit with that thing. Sometimes I may not want to screen record it. Like I have to screen record like 7 minutes of content every single time. Yeah, that's annoying. But I did in fact make it. So when I used Canva, I simply decided to take the vocals that I screen recorded and divide it in little pieces. The little pieces are the microtones or notes or pieces of chromatic that I actually used and decided to combine them with the tails ones. And so I decided to use the tails ones. And I did make a good first turn, which in fact is the one you're listening right now. The triple crown magic was for the Smiths. It never changed. It's a good thing about my meats is that there aren't like early scrap versions. If there are early scrap versions, they are identical to the ones that we now have. The only difference is that they're shorter. That's very useful, to be honest. And so I what I actually meant to do wasn't really making remix. wasn't really a remix, but it was actually making a song, custom song, that got the same instrumental as Triple Trouble, let's say chromatics of Triple Trouble. You can see what's the problem. It was impossible because the instrumental makes sound like it is a remix. So I decided to give up the idea and to actually make a remix. And despite that, for Tails, for all of the Tails section, I actually did continue to make different turns. Okay, so it actually doesn't really look like a remix. I still tried to make a remix, but I actually did make a custom song for some reason, and that's what makes Tales part of that good. That's really nice to me. And fun fact, the basically the project on Canva has still the name Song I Made with Triple Trouble Instrumental. I never did change it, but that's just little information I gave you. And now we actually get to every single turn. So the first turn, you know what, the first turn it wasn't really that hard. But the first turn actually ended up being awesome because basically there is a certain chromatic boyfriend that is perfect. When he says, "Oh, yes," he actually makes the song amazing. You see, there are sounds that have to be used rarely, but when they're used, they're this good. And I really like it. So then we have to get to the second turn since that there isn't really that much. I have to tell you that the turns were pretty easy, okay? The second turn was also easy. The second turn was also easy. I didn't really struggle with that. Also because it did have less than 50 notes, so it really was that easy. And same for the turn. For some reason, it is still different from the original Triple Trouble, but I feel like it's actually similar for some reason to the original one. So you might be asking, what was my strategy? Well, basically, I took all of the notes that were available for the turn, and then I blindly decided to stack them up to each other and see what happens. Now, then, when I actually see what's happened, or maybe hear what happens, I decided to change them and make them fit with the instrumental, which is really good. And the struggles actually started with the fourth turn. Why did it start with the fourth turn? Well, there is an actual reason because finally it finally introduced the double turns. You understand? It's a 40 second. It's the 41 second. Well, no, wait. It's at the 41st second. And so the thing had troubles. Maybe they were tripled or doubled. Who knows? I actually don't know. So I actually did find a version of Triple Travel with only had boyfriend, and guess what? It's the one I mentioned before. So I screen recorded the thing and make boyfriend sing his parts. I guess it sounds so good. Yeah. Meanwhile, for Tails, I actually did use a video that is not available for some reason right now, but I swear it was there. It was there, okay? I did use for Tails schematics, but it was like triple travel vocals, no, boyfriend, no BF. For some reason, I can't find it, which is so sad. Whatever. And so I used the chromatics from there, and when I actually used the Holy Boyfriend, I actually did turn the voice 2 times louder, So that's why you can feel the difference. Also because the instrumental does get louder to that part. And so double turns are 2 times more difficult because you have to consider that for one for then each for each you have to consider that for 10 seconds of composition, cool composition, which is a whole segment, I mean, I do need an hour. You might be asking me, okay, just do 4 hours and you get 4 segments. That's not really how it works, okay? It technically could work, but not on me, because I seriously start to get tired after an hour, which is why the triple treble remix did come out after almost 5 months. It could have technically been done in 1 month if I struggled that much, if I worked for so long that I wouldn't have even slept. Yeah, but I don't think it would have sounded good, so of course I did start with the long route, and of course there was school, so it wasn't that easy. When there was school, I only worked on it during Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, that's the problem. For 1 hour, whatever. So, and after that, there really isn't anything to say about tiles. The fifth turn, the fifth, I mean, the fifth turn, the second double turn. Let's just say the second double turn was also kind of hard because it's double turn, so I need 2 times the average time. But that seriously, uh, other than the time, wasn't that difficult. But it seriously gets me tired, so I wouldn't recommend you to do that. Only if you like are motivated. So then we have the turn, double turn, also was done. I was slowly making progress, okay? I was slowly making progress. Then the fourth, and finally the last one. So the last one is was actually meant to be another double turn. Last turn was technically meant to be a double turn, but I actually did finish it on 30th of April, so when the new month May actually started, I didn't feel like making it a double turn because it actually still sounded good originally. Like it still looks like it was made to be a simple turn and not a double turn, so I decided to leave it the same. And finally, we're at May. So we have Xenophanes when he sings the Drowning Theme. Now, this one felt very good to be made because it's simply the Drowning Theme. So, the Drowning Theme. So, I simply have to make a turn that boyfriend has to sing that and simply have to alternate the other ones. That it's that easy. So yeah, it was actually that easy and so funny to just alternate them. But with running team, it didn't sound that good, but it was my style. The instrument was still very good. It's just that there was certain chromatic xenophanes add that simply made the thing way way louder. So I can't really tell you because it's music which chromatic it was, but I can tell you that if you see a sort of chromatic with the shape of line that Xenophanes has, it's that one. So it was that easy. It was even made one day, which is so good because it was 30 seconds. So now we have Knuckles. The first turn of Knuckles was, of course, pretty easy. Basically, I just had to beat them, so it was kind of well done. Then we also have the second turn. Now, during the first days of May, I was actually sick. I had 39 Celsius degrees. I had 39 Celsius degrees, which is 102 Fahrenheit. Yes, that's how bad it was. And despite that, I didn't make the second and third knuckles turn while I was sick. That's very good, honestly. It still sounds very good. I don't understand. Did I have sick powers when I was sick? I guess. But that's. I really enjoyed that. But yes, I did suffer, but I was able to make it. And finally, I was done being sick, okay? And entered normal mode. And I started with first double turn. It was actually that good. Sometimes when I'm this good at making music, I feel like I'm just copying the turns. I just feel like something I'm so good that I feel like I did copy the song somewhere else, but I don't think I did. And so for the double turns, I had to use another source for Knuckles, which I'm not going to list because who cares? The original author didn't want to get credited, didn't say anything, so who cares? It's multiple versions, so who cares? And so you may notice that maybe the voice was a little bit different, or maybe not. It was actually pretty much quieter than before, so I had to for pair. For the first three turns, it was two pair, if you get it. And so I don't think you noticed any difference. But you may have asked me, oh, why don't you screen record it and make it even louder? I already talked about how there is a difference between volume and make it louder. If it is louder, it gets bass boosted. And bass boost means bad quality. So no, it doesn't even make it loud. Even if it were bass boosted, it would have been louder. It's the voice the problem. So for the other parts, it was they also went pretty good. Second double turn. Now I actually didn't get fed up after the first double turn, so the other ones were kind of that fast. So yeah, the instrumental was also very confused. Like, how am I supposed to make a song with instrumental of JoJo and Unknown from ME? So it did kind of copy the instrumental, did also leave some parts as the same. For boyfriend, I got fed up. Okay, double turns seriously end up taking all of your life. And yeah, the last two double turns were kind of rushed, but at the same time, they did kind of sound good for some reason. And then finally we are at 7-2. So you may notice it only has two turns, which means that it was able to make it in 2 days. Yes, I did make it in just 2 days. So there really isn't that much to talk about it, but first turn, yeah, it was easy, just remix, yeah. Boyfriend did some good, yeah, he did. Then for the second turn, there was meant to be an instrument called Square Wave, but it was found in the vocals, so I removed it. Wow, that's awesome. And so Boyfriend for the second one actually sounded good. I I really am happy about that. I did have the M vocal to make it sound that good. I also switched the long notes at the end, so the A were replaced with the U ones. So it still sounded very good, but I simply squished them, so who cares? And now we have Eggman. About Eggman, we have the first turn, which was still good. I didn't know how to use the Eggman vocals, okay? I spam them and it still sound good. Same for the second turn, the third turn, and then for the fourth turn. Also for the fourth turn, Edman did sound pretty wild. And also for the third turn, I did the laugh. So same for the fourth turn, then also for the fifth turn, nothing much. Then for the actually double turn, which I'm not going to elongate, let's just say there are just 5. Okay, there are 5 double turns. Yeah, let's just say there are 5. So they don't sound very good because it's literally the same, but the vocals chromatics mainly use the A sound, which makes it very good. I also DJ some parts so that it would be even better. But yeah, it was seriously the best part of the song, the hum. And the last turn, yeah, everything was pretty well. And then we have Xenophane's third. It was so annoying because it was 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's basically one section of its own, but a little bit faster. So for the first turn, I didn't struggle so much that I actually did spam in a horrible way the notes. Like, I wish I would be able to get a better version, but I'm not. But it still technically was enjoyable, I guess. For the second one, also did spam the notes. Boyfriend sounded a little bit annoying that part because you see, when you want boyfriend to copy it, it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, and there is no software that makes you automatically like convert it there. So you have to do it yourself, and you might get it wrong. If you get it wrong, you're you're dead. Then we have the long turn segment. You understand what I mean, right? It's a turn, technically. When Xenophane makes long notes, it's a reference to Power Down V1 Multiverse what yes means, which I'm still making. I'm 1 minute in, okay? 1 minute in. And maybe it will be uploaded in August, who knows? But I'm making it, okay? Don't worry about that. And yeah, for the other ones, of course, it's spam, same for boyfriend. And I did mention that theme, Sonic Let's See intro. Yeah, that was used for both boyfriend and Xenofates at the end of this song. So this is what I was referencing to for the only double turn that was there. And for Xenophanes, yes, kind of like the same one, but I remixed it so that it would sound good. Same for, I guess, boyfriend at the end. And that's basically it, right? Now we have the cool little facts. So what I have to say about it? Well, first of all, it was inspired from Triple Trouble Old, which may seem odd, but actually is true. Because first of all, the lyrics are like, for example, the lyric Sonic, the tail side. I don't remember when, like 50 seconds. Okay, 50th second. Okay. Actually, it comes from Triple Trouble Old, which actually does come from Sonic Adventures. I simply used the line, and I hope you're happy about it. Then for Xenophane, I didn't make him laugh at the first turn when boyfriend sings, so because it's good, also scrap animation. For Knuckles, he did get the lyrics. I don't remember which ones were. I still remember that creepy monster, which is from Sonic Adventure. So in Sonic Adventure, he was referencing what I think is referenced now. So basically, the reason why I put that lyric is because in this context, it sounds like he's talking about Xenophanes. Well, first of all, we have to talk about the original lore. So Knuckles, when he found So Knuckles actually found Sonic. It wasn't him, but it was Sonic Loaded Sea. So basically, Knuckles is referencing the one scene from when Knuckles think he saw Sonic, but it was Sonic Loaded Sea, and so he still remembered after being killed by him that that creepy monster. Sonic Loaded Sea is a creepy monster. So I think that's good detail. Also, did add the scream for Tails. Yes, I'm sorry, but not because it sounds good. I'm not going to apologize. Then for Eggman, he said, "Run Sonic, this is impossible." Why did he say that? Well, actually, is somehow inspired from Formula Fracture, because the lyrics of Formula Fracture are "There's nowhere left to run, Sonic. It's time to end this." While the opponent was boyfriend, which implies that Eggman is blind. And so, because he told boyfriend was Sonic, so in this way, when he said you are Sonic, this is impossible, Eggman was blind, he thought he had Sonic in front of him, then heard the voice of boyfriend, and then realized it isn't Sonic. So this is impossible. Of course, in the original Sonic Adventure 2 line, which is from 100soundboard.com, something like that, he did actually have, it did have a different context. But with this context, that's what I mean, okay? And so finally we have the laughter. So during the fourth and fifth turn, what I didn't say was that Eggman did laugh. He laughed a lot. When the first two ones, he didn't. Why? Well, the first two ones, it was simply a trick to make you believe that it was boyfriend the one mocking him, because he was actually laughing. Then, when he sings his cool boss team, he also likes to ultimately mock him. And so that's what makes it fun, because boyfriend that part doesn't even laugh. I just left normal, which I'm sorry, could have remixed that, but no, I wasn't able. One of the few instances when I wasn't able to remix some parts, unfortunately. And so then I finally made him laugh on the last turn, because you all waited for it. Come on. So you might be asking me, so I'm very different types of remixing. There are three different types. One is the one I told you, and simply put random notes, which is often used for tails, just tails for that. There is the one which I use the technique of the turn or something. The rule of thirds, okay, call it rule of thirds. Basically, I get three notes and mix them. That's it. And then I continue to the end. If I don't know how to remix it, okay, it happens mainly on Xenophans, but also Neckband. Yeah, it happens often. And then there's not even a remix. I just put literal parts of the song in the piece. Like, for example, the end of Knuckles. And I think that's it. So you might be asking me how you felt, how I felt. Well, I felt very good after making it, but it was a lot of time. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time, don't do it. If you ask many musicians, they just would say, "Oh yeah, I liked it" and stuff. I have to say it was kind of painful without actually hurting me, but it was possible. I'm proud of it. It may not be the best song, best remix, but I think you will appreciate it, right? And so for the title, if I said it's one of the best songs, it's just to be cocky, okay? I wanted to get your attention with the title, so you will click, but I don't think it's one of the best. It's very good though. So thank you for listening for, I think it's gonna be an hour. I don't know how the cut is going to be done, but if it's 1 hour, congratulations for being there. Like, seriously. Thank you guys. Bye. I'm now going to make the ultimate cut and also editing. This is gonna be so painful. Bye.